The Duluth City Council will be considering a resolution requesting federal officials to keep the EPA Lab in Duluth open. The resolution is on their agenda for Monday. Now, the Trump administration has talked about closing such facilities, but Minnesota federal and state lawmakers have pushed to keep the Duluth Office of Research and Development in operation. The lab contributes $15 million to Minnesota's economy each year. About 150 employees stand to lose their jobs. In March, hundreds of people showed up outside the EPA lab to protest the threat of its closure.